like, it's even dangerous what they doing because, like, you know what I'm saying, even being on that yard, you know what I'm saying, even being on that yard and politicking and saying stuff and bringing certain stuff up, man, you don't know who gonna be mad one day or who gonna come out they cell and be like, oh yeah, he said this about Woody Wood, or he spoke on that, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, you know, it's even dangerous, you know what I'm saying, what they doing, you know what I'm saying, because it can get ugly in there too. It definitely can get ugly up in there too, you know what I'm saying? You definitely can get put in a situation, you know what I'm saying, or everything though. But I even feel like for them, like even if I was in jail, like it's just like man, like you gotta be trying to get up out of there. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta be trying to get up out of there. Like and you gotta focus on some type of positivity. Like even in jail, like people don't bother me. Like I don't be having no problems. Like just when it's time to get to it or something going on, you know, I'm gonna assert myself. But be in jail, like I ain't gonna lie, shit, man, shit. It be peaceful, like shit. I'll be cool. Like only time, like it's just when the politics, when I assert myself in the politics, there's something going on. Like I don't have problems. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I know how to keep it respectful. I know how I go, and I just expect people to follow them. You know what I'm saying? Them same rules and regulations. And it's just like, you know, if you get disrespectful, we gonna meet disrespect with disrespect. But other than that, like even in jail, like man, you just, you know, you still got to be positive up in there too, man. Because shit. Get your ass killed up in there.
It's just wild though, because a lot of these dudes, they realize that like people ain't really going to pay attention to their Instagram live stream or whatever unless they are willing to talk about, you know, who they got issues with or who's a bitch and who ain't a bitch and all this type of shit. You know, all of a sudden that's like, you know, it's like I don't see the hour-long live stream that this dude did, but I do see the 20 seconds where he disrespected somebody that a bunch of people make videos about, you know?
For sure.
Yeah.
Controversy, that's that YouTube space. They want that controversy. Like, long as it's controversy, you said controversy sells. So that's definitely what they want.
Definitely. Okay, so I'm just to take a detour here. I'm somebody who, when I was 12, I read Monster Cody's book. As a very, very white kid in New Hampshire, that was like that's what I knew about Crippin', was what was in that book. So, and I heard the passion that came out when you were talking about it with Wack and how you didn't appreciate some stuff that he had said about him in the past and everything like that. Like growing up where you're from, was that just like the number one name, the loudest presence and everything? Like talk about his influence.
No, for sure. Like, you know, it's like you gotta, man, that man influence was cultural. Like that man started Crips and Bloods on the East Coast. You feel me? Like, so just like he definitely had that impact. Like even before I met him, like he definitely was early on impactful for me. Like reading that book in juvenile hall, I ain't gonna lie, like that book for me was like a Bible. You know what I'm saying? Like every time I went to jail, I had to have that book. I read that book, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, actually getting to meet him and having a relationship with him, you feel me, on everything. And so just like, you know, getting the stamp of his approval and everything, like, you know, that was definitely like, you know, like everything, you know, honorable, you know what I'm saying, at the time, you know what I'm saying, when I was in that space, for sure. So hell yeah, I wasn't feeling what Wack was saying.
Right, because for people who haven't seen it, Wack, kind of like his way of, you know, denigrating Monster Cody's life story is basically to say like, oh, he used to smoke crack. Which is like, you know, if you lived through the 80s and 90s, I take it that I'm cool. But that's not that controversial. Like a lot of people were smoking crack back then. It's not like smoking crack now where you know exactly what this does to you and how bad it can ruin your life. Back then, you know, you hear stories all the time about from all cities all over America, that, you know, all kinds of people who are powerful and, you know, people's moms smoking crack that had absolutely no idea what it was going to do to them and shit like that. So what's your perspective on Wack kind of taking that perspective? And were people mad at you even being involved in that conversation? Because the whole tone of it was a little disrespectful, I guess.
No, I mean, shit, what could you say? Like, I know Monster. A lot of people don't know Monster. And I mean, you know, rest in peace, you know what I'm saying, to the G homie. But I mean, shit, like, what could you say? You can't say nothing to me about speaking about his name. Like, you feel me? Like, it's a dude I had a relationship with, actually talked to. Like, I can speak, you know what I'm saying, on his name. So with that being said, like for me, Wack basically was like, you know, was like, you know, basically, you know, I apologize, like if I did say something wrong, because the stuff I was pointing out to him that I said he said he didn't say. I'm like, you did say this and you said this. So basically, Wack point of view was, and what he thought he had said was that when Wallow and Gilly asked him who would he pick out of Monster Cody
or Big U,
And Big U, he said Big U, and he said Big U because of Big U, you know, he evolved, you know, Big U had the gangsterism, then evolved and stuff like that. And like I told him, I'm like, bro, the problem wasn't about you picking Big U. I'll never be mad at you about you, I like Big U over Monster Cody. Your pick is your pick. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. My thing was about you trying to downgrade him about him smoking crack. Like, bro, like him smoking crack don't take away for everything that he earned, you know what I'm saying, that was righteous to the streets. You know what I'm saying? You can't take that from him. He did that. And what you got to think, with him doing all this stuff that's alleged, you know what I'm saying, that probably was his road to smoking crack, you know what I'm saying, trying to harvest them demons, like, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I was just like kind of pointing out to him, and he was just like, no, you know, I was just saying that Big U transitioned, you know, Monster didn't make the transition, you know what I'm saying? And I was just like, you feel me? You know, you said this, but, you know, we can conclude it there. You know, I ain't tripping, you know what I'm saying? That wasn't cool, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people smoke crack. I'm pretty sure you got G homies and older homies, aunties, or somebody that did some crack when it hit in the 80s. Shit.
Well, I mean, that's like me saying, like, yo, you know, Jefe, I'm fucking with Jefe. He's a cool dude. Oh, man, he ain't nothing but an oxy salesman, you know? Or like, they can say about me, he used to be a cokehead. He used to be fucking snorting all kinds of shit, doing every drug under the butt. All right. Hey, that's don't like write off everything else that a person did with their life, you know?
For sure. No, for sure. No, but no, it was a good conversation. But besides Wack funny, you know what I'm saying? I like Wack though. Besides him, you know what I'm saying? Keep on trying to talk over him. And all that, it was a cool little conversation, you know what I'm saying? It was a cool conversation, but I was just wanting to tell him that, like, them two names don't even really, like, as far as, like, gangsterism in the streets, they don't compare because, like, in the streets, like, what people got to understand, y'all know what Monster Cody was known for. Y'all don't got to speak on what he was known for. Big U wasn't known for that. Big U was originally known as being a jacker, and then, you know what I'm saying, a jacker that knew how to fight, that was knocking people out, you know what I'm saying? That wasn't what Monster Cody wasn't a jacker. So it's just like, just certain names, you know, I just feel like you shouldn't even be bringing up in comparison and try to compare them alongside each other. And you can even see in the interview that Big U was kind of like, when he was like, man, Big U, like, you just see his face like, man, come on, why are you going here and doing that? Because he didn't even comment. He was like, kind of like, man, come on. So you just say, it even shows the respect, you know what I'm saying, level and shit like that. But no, it's all good though. It's all good. People gonna have their perspectives and their opinions. It is what it is.
Oh yeah, I gotta reread that book because it's been so goddamn long. I'll probably read it with very different eyes these days.
For sure. Everything. Because I know, I used to know that book front to back. Somebody was talking about that book with me the other day, and they had said something about it, and I'm like, man, I don't remember that in there. I used to know that book front to back, so it kind of made me want to go back through there and read it again, too.
Okay, so you just saw the clip, but did you know that you can watch this entire interview right now before it's released to the public, uncensored, by becoming a member for just $5 a month, and there's a lot of other crazy benefits as well, so make sure you hit the link down in the description and sign up. Appreciate y'all.